Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to go over preparing a protein shake. This protein shake is good for after a intermittent fasting routine or after a workout. I started this back in February of 2021, right after COVID. I had gotten sick with COVID in 2021. Actually started at the beginning of that year. And it lasted for a good 2 months. So I was looking for different ways to boost my immune system and also, consume nutrients which would help me out in the long run. Well, back then I was pushing about, let's say when I first started the program, I was pushing about 360 pounds, which obviously is the reason why I was having a lot of health issues. My dad, unfortunately, had passed away from COVID 2 months earlier. So I really wanted to get into a pattern of eating which would hopefully benefit me. So I started initially after I got well from COVID, which was maybe a couple of months later, so from January 2nd of 2021 till end of February 2021, I was sick with COVID. Luckily I was able to recuperate from that, but as soon as I did, I started doing my juicing routine. And that was good, and it worked. Of course, that's, short term, but it does provide a lot of nutrients. But I wanted something a little bit more substantial, something I could take in, maybe have a lifestyle. So I got on the internet looking for ways that I could reverse high sugar, high blood pressure, cardiac arrhythmias. And I ran into an individual called Dr. Jason Fung, and he has a whole bunch of videos in regards to intermittent fasting. He's a nephrologist, which is a kidney doctor. And he talks about intermittent fasting and the different benefits from that. So I figured I would go ahead and give that a try and adopt a healthier lifestyle. But this particular recipe that I'm getting ready to show you today is something that I break my fast with. I usually do a 20-hour fast every day. And I'm going to tell you why I selected the individual ingredients. Nothing's perfect. Everyone has some issues with some type of food, but this seems to work for me. Now, I started my journey at around 360 pounds. By the end of 2024, I was, 2021, apologize. 2021, I went from, and this is starting from February till the end of the year, I started at 360. By December of that year, I was down to 260. Now, people would say, what are you doing, starving yourself? No, I wasn't starving myself. I followed intermittent fasting routine, and when I broke my fast, I ate appropriately, and this is one of the things that helped me stay on track. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what exactly I implemented in regards to a protein shake to help me with that journey. So in a nutshell, these are pretty much the ingredients, and I apologize as far as my video is concerned. It's not as professional or polished as most of the ones I've seen on YouTube, but I'm just learning, and eventually I'll get to that point, but for now I just got to do with what I know. Okay, so here we have lined up, I start out with a half a cup of ice. I use my refrigerator over there. It makes crushed ice. So that's good to go, and I put that in one of these containers. This is from the Ninja blender. I'll show it to you in a second here. It's this one right here. I like this one because it actually pulses in where it'll actually mix it up, and then it'll pause to let things settle, then it'll mix it up again. It does it all on its own. The mixing process is about 45 seconds, something to that degree. But anyway, I like the way that it works. Right now it has this attachment on, which I'm not going to be using, so I'm going to take that off for a quick second. So when the cup is ready to go, I'll be able to put it on there. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, so the ingredients that I put in there, I'm going to put in one at a time, and I'll tell you as I'm putting them in why I have them. The first one would be a medium-sized banana. I already cut it up. Now, the reason why I use bananas is because people say they're high in glucose, and they are. I'm not on a keto diet. I'm on intermittent fasting. So I use bananas. It's a good source of potassium. So let's go ahead and put that in. Oops. Let's go ahead and put that in there. I lost the banana. I won't be using this one. Just put it aside for a second. Sorry about this. Again, not a professional video, but I'm trying the best I can. Now, this is something I started incorporating, which I wasn't incorporating before. But I said to put it in because it adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of sweetness. But of course, that would be blueberries and strawberries. I'll put those in there, and they add not only help you with the sugar content, but they also help you with antioxidants as well as a little bit more potassium. The next thing that I put in is dates. Now, these are regular pitted dates. It doesn't have to be this brand, but they're pitted dates, which means they don't have the pits in them. I usually use 2, but for this recipe right now, I'm just going to use what I had left in there and just put 4 in there. But I usually use about 2 of them. I don't try not to use too much of these because they do contain a lot of sugar. It's natural sugar, but it's still a lot of sugar. But they're packed with again, vitamins, minerals, especially potassium. And I'm going to talk to you about potassium a little bit later on as to why that's very important. Next I would do is almonds. Almonds are a source of protein, so I'll just grab a little handful of those. Not much. Throw those in there, maybe a little bit more. I like almonds. Okay. The next thing that I would put in there would be, and it doesn't have to be in this order. I just happen to have things in this order. Let me take off the top here. I should have already had it off. Sorry about that. And I'm going to grab a spoon as well, which I didn't prepare for that, but I'm going to go ahead and add it as well. As I said, please bear with me. But this has a scoop in there, so I don't really need a spoon for this, but I will need a spoon for the peanut butter. So I take a scoop of protein powder, just 1 scoop, and this is organic plant-based protein powder. You can use your whey powder if that's what you have. I'm not too particular on, but as long as it's a protein powder, some are better than others, but I'm not going to get into all of that. There's other gurus which will go down to the science of micronutrients, but I'm not doing that today. Okay, next I put in a scoop of raw oats. Again, people have issues with certain types of oats. I don't. It adds a little bit of texture, and it's packed with protein. Again, it does have a significant amount of carbohydrates, so if you're on a keto style plan, may or may not be the best thing, but you know, who's looking, right? The next thing I put in would be this type of peanut butter is the one that I use. It's Smuckers. I'm not doing a commercial for them either. It's Smuckers natural peanut butter, and the reason why I do this is because the only thing it has in there as far as ingredients, if we'll look closely, is peanuts and a little bit of salt, and that's it. So you don't have all that other stuff that you would have with those other types of peanut butter where you have different types of palm oils and preservatives and things like that. I'm just trying to get the peanut butter jar open, so bear with me, if you would, please. Okay, now when you first open up this peanut butter, when you first buy it, it does have a large layer of oil on the top, so you got to mix it in. Once you mix it in, and I've already done that, then it's good to go. So I usually do about maybe 2 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Again, protein and the different nutrients from peanut butter are fantastic. So let's put that in maybe 2.5. There we go. I'm sort of cheating a little bit. Okay, so now we got all the dry ingredients in. Now the only thing that I use for the wet ingredient, besides a little bit of water, if I need to top it off, would be either coconut milk unsweetened or almond milk unsweetened. I don't use a sweetened brand, I use the unsweetened brand. And I just top it off with that. It doesn't have to be any particular plan. As I said, some people like a particular brand of coconut milk or almond milk, almond milk, coconut milk, unsweetened, one of the two. Now, as you see, I didn't fill it up to the top because that's all I have in here, maybe a little bit more. But if for some reason I don't have enough fluids in there, I'll go ahead and top it off with this reason why I have my water bottle back here. By the way, I drink at least 3 of those a day. So let's put the cover on this. We'll screw it on. Doing all this with one hand, sorry about that. Make sure it's on nice and tight. And then we're gonna put it on the blender, the Ninja blender. Again, it doesn't have to be a Ninja blender. I just happen to like this one, that's the brand that I use. So we'll come over here and we'll put it in the, now this is the reason why I like this particular blender myself, is because when I put it on, it automatically, you see all these solids right here, it'll actually emulsify those. But then with some blenders that don't have this feature, it'll emulsify them, but when you take it off, it'll be all, you know, big, large chunks still, because the stuff settles. You don't give it enough time to settle. You take it off before it settles, but this allows it to settle before it mix, and then it continues to mix it up. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, it's going to be a little bit loud, so hit that right there. Oops. See how it's settling? Mixes it up, stop. You see my juicer off to the left there. And of course, this particular blender is the Auto IQ kitchen system from Ninja. I do like it. Now, if it wasn't blended enough and I wanted it to be even finer, I would run it through a second cycle, but I'm not going to put you through that. So I'm just going to take this off. And with this system, they have a cover which goes on the, I'm going to put the camera down for a quick second here. Sorry about that. Put that down for a quick second. I'm going to take off the cover. Now, if you look at the texture here, sorry about that. If you look at the texture, it's a little bit thick. So what I would want to do at this point is just add some water in there and kind of shake it up. I don't really have to blend it anymore. I just go ahead. I'm putting on the camera again. Apologize again. As I said, my photography stuff will actually get better as I get used to this and use some of this editing software. But for now, this is what I've got. So as you can see, I put some water in, topped it off. And another thing that I add to it, which I didn't add now, but I will add at some point down the line, is chia seeds. Chia seeds are an excellent source of nutrients. I didn't put them in here now, but what I would do with the chia seeds once I put them in is I would go ahead, and I think I have a little bit full. Sorry about that, a little bit full. So just bring it over to the sink. Okay. Now I kind of got cut off with that previous video, so I had to do a part 2 here. So as you can see, I went in after I rinsed it off, and I put my chia seeds in there. Now the chia seeds do expand once they're in liquid for a while. So I may not drink this right away. I'll usually prepare it about an hour before I'm ready to utilize it. Okay, I had to do a part 2 on this only because when I put the camera down, it actually cut it off. So I went ahead and rinsed off the bottle, off the jar. And while I was at it, I put my chia seeds in there. Now, I don't blend it after I put the chia seeds in because it'll emulsify them. So I don't want that. So what I'll do, and I won't drink it right away either because the chia seeds will still be sort of hard. I mean, you could do it. They'll just be kind of crunchy. So I leave for about an hour or so before I'll actually drink it. So I added those in there. And of course, if you'll do your nutrient research on chia seeds, you'll find that they're very beneficial as well. So let me top this back off here. And what I'm going to do is put this in the refrigerator. Put this in the refrigerator for about an hour or so. I'll go ahead and shake it up. This way it incorporates the chia seeds. So the chia seeds will be in there. And then in about an hour or so, I'll go ahead and drink this. But I'll only drink like maybe half of it because it does have a lot of, it is about a 500, actually I use 500 milliliter servings. So I don't drink all of it at one time, and maybe some of it I'll leave for the end of the day, or I'll drink maybe sometime tomorrow if I don't decide to drink the rest of it. So that's pretty much it as far as what I do. for my protein shake. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I know this video recording is sort of Neanderthal-like, and I apologize about that, but I promise as I get a little bit more versed in this, I will hopefully have a better feed as far as the videos are concerned. And if you have any suggestions, you can let me know as well as far as software and different things like that. It's only I think my 5th video that I've made so far, something in that range. But you'll find this to be very beneficial in regards to recovering after you work out. And speaking about working out and intermittent fasting, and I'll cover this later on more in depth in another video, but I usually do my workout just before I break my fast. So let's say I'm doing a 20-hour fast, about the 17th hour or the 16th hour, I'll plan my workout. I go over to one of the local gyms, and I'm usually there about 2-3 hours, something to that effect. And by the time I'm done with that, I'm at my 20-hour limit. You'll find out once you're fat adapted and once you have been on intermittent fasting for a while, that you're not hungry when the 20 hours is up, or the 16 hours, or the 14 hours, whatever you do. But it is time to eat, so you go ahead and eat because you want to stay on a regimen. Well, good enough. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Apologize again for the quality.